Long video. I'm actually gonna take a piss right now. I've been wanting to do this chart play video. Doubt the audio is gonna turn out, but I think it's important every day to kind of go over some charts when the market's open and when the market's not open. To just kind of keep your brain in check. You know, in some ways, over over overuse this habit, because the more you look at charts, the more it's going to come second nature to you as what's going on in the chart, and the more likely that you're going to profit. So yeah, I mean, I'm just going to go over some charts that happened this Friday. I didn't trade because the market was just selling off at first, but I wish I did. EYES was just an absolute monster, and this is something that we really don't see in this kind of a market, it feels like. But it did it, it kept going. It opened at 192, ended at hit a high of 989. And there are plenty of opportunities to make 10, 15, 20, 30% plus. If you were a very experienced trader, this could have doubled your account potentially. All right, so let's go over EYES. First thing I would do is look at the yearly. Okay, let's pretend like it's this early in the morning, right? It's already a leading gapper, I'm pretty sure. Popped up here and kind of just held VWAP. This is what we want to see. We want to see it hold VWAP above here. I don't really want to see... I want this to be more like this. Yeah, there we go. Maybe I can just use this drawing tool. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, so look at the yearly. I think, what is it? What did it open at? $2? So at $2, $2.50 this thing opened up, but gapped. So now you're going to want to be looking at resistance lines on the daily. So it looks like it bounced off that level twice. Looks like that's a good resistance right there, 426. And that's like the highest point on the daily, looks like. So we'll go to weekly, 3 year, 3 week. That's as far back as I want to go, honestly. 3 years. If you're still holding this longer than 3 years, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Okay, so that looks like that got rejected hard. That looks like a good one. Looks like a good resistance, and then maybe here. I mean, we don't want to draw too many lines, but that looks about right, Alright, so, I don't know, it didn't get denied that hard from that level. Okay, either way, now we got some support and resistance on the daily, because there's not much to go over pre-market here. Like, maybe you want to see if it opened up the gate down here. You want to see it hold this level. So let's go to the 5 minute, 5 day, 5 minute. And let's zoom in here. So maybe we want to see it hold this level, especially in a bear market. Maybe go for a dead cat bounce there. You want to see it get above this level here. And I don't know. I don't like that one, actually. I want to remove that. So let's see. So this thing rose up, popped and dropped back to VWAP, and then accelerated upwards. This is like a 20-cent move, or this is like a fucking 30% move. Okay, so let's get the... Oh wait, I can just do this now. Great. Okay, so this thing makes higher lows here. Doesn't break out of this resistance yet, but it does put in a nice support line. I'm getting used to this new mouse, so it's kind of hard for me right now. Okay, either way, this is a weak market, so I don't think I would be getting in on this first dip, to be honest with you. But because we want to see it get above this pre-market high and then boost up above. So it comes down, holds VWAP a little bit below it, but it pops back up, kind of low volume. I'm not really wanting to enter. but I do want to see it break this line. So it comes up, boom, consolidates at that line, pops up. Now this is where you're looking to add. Okay, so they really discount the size of this chart when it's like it goes to $9, you know. But there's just so many opportunities that this is all fucked up. It's so annoying. Let's just get it zoomed in right here. Either way, okay, so now you're buying. Fuck, this is so fucking annoying. Why can't I get this formatted properly? Okay, whatever. Anyways, so it makes its move. Pops up back over. You want to see now. You want to see it kind of fade and then hold that support. So here's the resist. Here's the ascending. God, I cannot think today. This is the ascending. Oh my god, there's a trend line down here at the bottom. Right, holds that trend line. Holds that trend line, then it has to also hold view up. So it pops back up over that. So now this is your first ad, right? You want to see it hold previous highs, which it does. So it's at. So here's the thing: it's sitting at previous highs. It's also sitting at VWAP, and it's also sitting at. Why can't I format this shit? It's actually pissing me off. Maybe I should just do one chart. That's probably more productive, huh? There we go. Okay, so it's sitting at previous resistance and now it's gonna be support, and then also is hitting VWAP, and then it's also hitting this. Trend line. At this point, I'm now going to create this and make this the trend line. It just makes more sense. It's going to probably attack more points because this is the strongest trend so far, so you want to draw another trend line, right? So this would be a great support as well, but you want to draw as many as you can on the way up. So anyways, buy this dip down here because it's I call this the triple header, you know? It's the previous resistance, it's got the oh my god, why can't I think? It's got the trend line, it's sitting on the trend line, and it's also sitting on view up. It actually holds this and holds this, so that's even more bullish if it doesn't come back down to this level. You don't want to see it break below this level, but if it holds above there, that's why you're not going to always, like, if you had your buy set at like 264, you wouldn't have gotten filled and would have missed this move. That's why I like to buy, like have your price above. So we'll go to active trader, have your price above, like, okay, where was the, let's get all down here, all the way down here. So say it's like making these drops, always have your buy above that line. So like 275, or like wherever that low was, now you want to put your buy in at 274. If you start feeling like it's gonna reverse. So that next candle got really good volume, so you're like, oh shit, I gotta get in at 275, and your risk now will be the low of this candle, because if that continues to go down, like you got 275, you're risking 266, right? So you're risking 10 cents to the downside, but this thing has already made a big move, and the next resistance is at 426, and that is on it. That's your price target at this point, because there's no other resistance on the daily, right? Like you want it to get up to this kind of range. So you might trim if you're feeling like it's a bearish market. You might trim half here at 311. So you're risking 10 cents for let's see, 3-1 to 3-1 from 3276 for 25 cents. So it's not great risk to reward, but you of course you always want to try to get in as low as you can. But in this instance, like it didn't even reach that point, so you're just gonna want to buy above the high of this red candle, and that's a good entry. And it depends on what kind of risk you want to take. Obviously, the next resistance line is 428, so that's a huge risk to reward. That'll almost double your account, right? So anyways, you get in off this low, pops up immediately, breaks through there. When you see that, like when I see a parabolic move like that, I'm gonna take some off the table up here. But it also shows that this stock is very strong. If it's gonna, in 3 candles, make a new high, Yeah, so maybe take your profits down here. Now what you want to do is draw in obviously this resistance before you get in, and you want that to act as support now. Now if you wanted a momentum trade because this pops up and gets 5 million volume on this candle, you're like, okay, every single day trader in the market's on this right now. So let's hope it comes down here and holds this. Holds this. Maybe you get in off this 315 or something after risking your 30 cents, maybe lighter size, and then boom, pops up. Holds your. So now your stop's gonna be honestly below this support. So it's kind of not great risk to reward. You got 5 cents to the downside, but it holds up. Pops all the way back up to 405. It's getting closer to your 425. Maybe you want to trim some here. Maybe you're being conservative and want to trim up in here, because you're never, a lot of the times in a bearish market, you're not going to get your price target, your higher price target. You have to be very conservative. Like in a bear market, I'm risking 275 for 307. Like like I'm just taking quick profits. Like you're taking profits right here, and then so maybe you get back in, pops back up, take profits in here. Maybe hold some to see if it can break that. It gets pushed down hard. Now, this is where you want to be a little bit more cautious, because that green candle to push this thing through, and then having about 5+ million volume trying to push uh, that resistance, you can look at the level 2 and probably see either a massive seller here or a hidden seller. Either way, you can tell from either level 2 or just from looking at the chart that there's going to be some resistance up in here. So if this happens, you're like, okay, I'm out. I'm going to wait for this thing to reset and reconsolidate, right? We want it to reconsolidate before it can break that again. If it tries to pop back up and break that, and you put your thing up at like 429 and it breaks it, that thing 90% of the time is going to pop back down either temporarily or significantly, and you're going to be stuck in a trade. So if it gets denied hard at the rim, you want to see consolidation. You always want to see consolidation before a move, in a compression of volume, which I didn't talk about back here, which I should have. Look at the compression of volume. When you see that, like the first move was on 3 million. This is just such an easy, obvious play. Also, ascending triangle, somewhat right through here, right? But you see compressed volume down here. Look at this. It made what, 600,000 volume at this low, and then boom, the next candle pops up. That's when you want to buy that candle, and then immediately strikes back up. We can see that same move as this thing comes down. Like even right here, it popped through that and then held this support, and where it's holding its support, it had much lower volume than where it popped up, right? And that's what you want to see. You want to see lower volume on the pullback. And then it pops back up, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so now you want to see it reconsolidate, because it couldn't break this level, right? Couldn't break this level. Comes down, and then now you're looking at your trend line. You always want to look at your previous high, your trend line, and wherever VWAP is. And if those three intersect, that's where you're going to want to buy, if it's going to be doing well. So this looks like this might be especially with this ascending thing, this might be your best buy, because it could potentially come back down to VWAP. You might place a buy here, or a buy down here, but you're mainly going to want to like this is a perfect trend line, right? This is just straight through here, hits here. You're going to get hits right here, okay? This is where it holds previous high, or previous resistance, VWAP, and trend line. So you buy in, and now you have to have patience with this, because this is probably going to reconsolidate. You don't want to break your line. Your risk is off of here, 325, like 5 cents or so. You've already made profit back here, so you're not as worried. You could even go smaller size, or whatever you want to do, whatever you're comfortable with. Anyways, you want it to hold this trend line, so you're going to move your stop, keep moving your stop up through here, right? You want it to hold this trend line. And make sure your risk, like your stop loss, no matter where this move is nowhere below, like if you were in at 325, you want this to hold up above 319. Okay, you want to be 1 cent below, or 320s, whatever. So it starts to ascend, holds these lines here. This is very nice. Like this is what you watch for. Like it's low volume coming back in. See how much lower the volume is through this consolidation. But the cool thing is that you got in at a area where you knew would most likely bounce, right? So you buy in, and now it's ascending again, and it's holding that trend line on lower volume. Low volume on the sell-offs, high volume back in. That means that these dips are being accumulated, right? And then you're waiting for that pop, and then boom, all of a sudden, look at the volume. Completely compresses, and then boom, pops up. That candle is validated by the amount of volume there was. There's less sellers through here now, so it's easier for this candle to move out. And then here's another just thing to look at and think about. These candles right here are a candle that you see when people are accumulating to try and pop up through here. Because the green or red, these are accumulation candles. Because if that wick comes down and gets pushed up like that, 3 times like that at least, it's going to try to break that high. So now it broke through there. These are all people just trying to push this price through. Look at the volume and like how it's really hard to get through this level. So now we look left, right? We want to see this resistance get pushed, and you could be taking profits because there was such a heavy seller through here. You could take and trim half off of this level because of such a heavy seller. Like, it could not get pushed through and could get pushed down hard again. So maybe you sell through here, and that's exactly what you're kind of seeing here. But you're also seeing buyers come over, which is super bullish. So it pushes through that level, but finds resistance again and sells off, but then holds up in here. So now we're looking at even shorter time frame, right? We're looking at resistances right here and resistances right here. Oh, there we go. And so it holds that and keeps going. Maybe you have half. I don't know. It pops back up and struggles again. At this point, you might have been fully out at this point. I mean, you've made from this move. You've made, like, say you got in at like 325 ish, or 334s, and it pops up to this level. That's 60 cents on the dollar, and then down here you made almost 100% or a dollar move right here. Like, that's just insane. You're already up a bunch of money. Maybe you're just holding shares just to see what the fuck it does. But your stop is getting moved up as this trend line moves up. And now, holy shit, your lower trend line is now acting as an ascending triangle support line, which is amazing. Like, it's never going to be beautiful, but you can obviously see resistance in this zone. And we don't be like so precise on these dip buys or any entry that like it's going to be, a lot of the times it's not going to be this perfect. Obviously, look, this dip below this dip below VWAP, but it held, like it's never going to be perfect. I mean, sometimes it'll be beautiful like this, but here's, for example, if this is an ascending triangle trying to get through this level and it can't, it's kind of just this zone that can't really break, right? So at this point, it's really good consolidation right here. But if you're getting in this late, like, I don't see like a perfect entry. Maybe if you missed that last one, you could get in down there. But honestly, maybe in here because it's held that support level. But really, at this point, it's consolidating. And if you're gonna get in, you're either gonna get off these lows or you're gonna try to get in off of these highs. And this is just so bullish throughout here. Like, if you see these candles right here, like, just like the absolute support that these candles have. So boom, pushes up through, and now you get a psycho parabolic move to $9. This is just insane. You've already made like $1.60, and then yeah, it moves out of this ascending triangle, which looks great. Let's see, moves out of the ascending triangle, pops up, and just goes insane. It goes from 431 to 65, and look how crazy that is. These resistances on the dailies are getting hit perfectly. Like, that's why you need to zoom out and just look left. Like, you can, if you got in down in here in this consolidation, maybe you got in off this dip, you want it to hold 3.9s or 3.80s or try to get this support line while it goes higher and higher. Now your price target is either going to be um, you're going to risk off of here because you've already made a bunch of money back here, or maybe you're just starting to get in, you buy this dip, you want it to hold this lower trend line, your risk is like 10 cents, but now your next resistance line is 645, and this thing has had crazy volume all day, relative volume, I don't know how much it was, but 356.7 times the normal volume. That's what we want to look for. Pops back up, hits this resistance line here, um, and then finds it. So it hits this resistance line. You're trimming out through here. Honestly, you're trimming at sixes. This thing just goes parabolic, like all the way up. Like it's insane how this thing is moving. Um, Pauses here for a second. So maybe you have your stop here or something, and then boom, pops all the way up to 665 from potentially a 372 entry. That's 100% move almost. And you trim through here, you've doubled whatever you put in, right? You've doubled what you've put in. Maybe you've made 1.5 of your account at this point. Um, and then it now it's gonna try to find some resistance here. So maybe now, I mean, it went so parabolic that you really don't have much to kind of go off of. Like maybe in this zone, it kind of found support. It tried to pause really quickly and then keep going, but it doesn't even reach that again. So if you're getting in up here, honestly, I wouldn't, because it's already done so much. Like it consolidated forever just to make that move. Um, but this right here is the first real consolidation after the first pull. So if you got in down here, you want to hold most of your shares for your first price target, and then sell the rest up here. So at this point, this thing, you're like, okay, I'm gonna hold half my shares here. Maybe I get in off of sixes. You want to see it hold sixes, that half or that dollar psychological level, right? Um, Pops up, boom. Wait, did it find? No, fives. It just blasted straight through. But now you want it to hold six when it's sitting at this level sevens. But like it's bad because like this the if you were getting like if you tried to buy this up in here off of resistance at 687, like your risk is like 591. That's more than $1. um I'm doing a video right now.
Okay.
Just give me a second. I'm doing a video right now, like I'm talking.
I just need the toggle because it's for my keyboard too.
Okay, gotcha. um so that happens and it pops back up, and weird, it finds another resistance through here and then pops back up through here. And I honestly, at this point, if you're holding through here, God bless you, you've just made 300% of your account. um, and if you're a psycho enough to get in off of down here, like way down here off this first pop and then dip buy right through here, I mean, you're just what, 256 through, say, hold till 9. I don't know why anyone would do that, but that's just insane. That's insane. You would have made 400% or something like that. But either way, this is a great chart to look at. I think it popped back up again, maybe? Tried to make support again. At this point, when it moves like this and then the backside comes down this hard, you're not, I mean, you could try to buy through here if you're bored, but at this point, it's 10 a.m., so that's usually when I stop trading. But you're here to make money, not excuses, so if you see another opportunity, you could try to buy it. Maybe it holds up again, comes down to view up, um, descending wedge right here. Maybe you buy through here, buy this dip down here, and then it pops back up again. And that's a great move right there. 579 to 644. Like when it's this hot, you can expect to see a good backside of the trade a lot of the time. So yeah, that's a great trade right there. Comes down to support again, dip by here, but what I'm trying to push here is like the type of trading that I do. A lot of the times is in like how my mind works. I know I was a little bit slow today because I'm kind of busy with other stuff, um, but this is how I would have looked at the trade. This is just an absolute parabolic mover, and yeah, I mean, what else could we try to draw here? I mean, there's no real. I guess that would be the beginning of the move. Maybe you try to buy the dip off of this, pops back up to eights. I mean, it's just insane. I bought this a couple days ago. There was a parabolic mover. I bought this really quick, but you're gonna just get out almost immediately when you're happy. Scalp it for a little bit more. But yeah, this is a great trade. It probably took forever. Maybe look through and see if there's anything else. Not real, no real. Oh, there's kind of volume here. Buy the dip here, right? But it had all this through here, so I wouldn't be buying that. Too much overhead supply. Weedy. What the fuck is that? What a psycho move. Not going to be buying this. This is just going rampant too far. No real consolidation. Every time it's not for me, but here's a bull flag. Every time I try to trade these, I get burnt. But that'd be a good dip buy for small shares. Do you see the difference here? Like, this is from 4 to 5, right? That was this whole move. As when you look at eyes, this thing goes from 2 to 9. Right? Like the 2 to 4 is way bigger than this entire move. So this is why this chart is just so good to look at and analyze, and maybe um, do your own kind of chart play with it. At this point, like it was so good early. Like seeing like these tight like moves through here is so nice. Um, Especially for it to like pop off here and make higher highs throughout here. Like that's so bullish, and it needed to have this move after that because there's so many buyers coming in throughout this move. There's one right here. There's a few in here trying to push it through, and then lower volume through here, and then boom, more huge buyers coming in to push this thing through. And from there, there's just people FOMOing all the way up to nines. Like any person would have been happy with a $2 move off of here. So absolutely insane. A chart for the books. I'm gonna take off scalper alert, not volume, but I want to just kind of get a bare minimum chart and just like I'm gonna clear these drawings. Oops. Doesn't look like much from here, but that's an ascending triangle. I mean, just look at this. And then almost get an ascending triangle through there. Like it's just such a good chart to look at. I think I'm gonna save this video, but I mean it's just such good information to look at. It is a lot easier to go back and look at these charts and like not think anything of them because you can go and you know that it already made this massive move. But if you're trying to like no, like going down here, you could be like, okay, so boom, dip buy, there's your pop. Yeah, I'm gonna go through and do a technical analysis on this where I can actually completely chart it, and then I'm gonna make that my screensaver for sure because that's just such a good chart to like look at every day and just refer to because this is what we look for. You know, you want to buy these tips. You don't want to be the guy I mean, of course, when you're beginning, it's good to buy these 446 breakouts because you can feel more confident that it's going to get out there. But you can feel a lot more confident and calm when you're buying at 388 or when you're buying at 319 and just holding like you're already up $1.50 per share. You've got 1,000 shares, like you're up 1,500. And you're like, all right, I got my stop down here. I don't care. But if it breaks this line, great. I'll be up 3,000. So it's such a good. This is what we see in our bull markets, and I think next week we're gonna start to see this. So be prepared. Do some chart analysis tomorrow, and be ready to go to bed early and get your shit done.